welcome to Haircut and the Beard. My name is Vader, aka Haircut, and I'm joined by my co-host, Rob the Beard Brown. Rob, how are you?
Better after that intro, that was great.
Yeah, you like that one?
Really good.
Very good. We're also joined by a very special guest. You might remember her from episodes 1, 2, and 3. The girl.
Un, dos, tres. Hello.
Cuatro.
Or is it uno?
Huh?
Uno?
Let's just go with that.
Hello.
If this is your first time joining us, we like to talk about movies and TV shows and sometimes games, pop culture, just fun stuff like that. We start off with some news, we fill the centre with some discussion on a particular film, and then we end it with some fun stuff at the end. Rob?
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about Focus, which stars Margot Robbie and also Will Smith, who's playing himself, playing a conman. I love a good conman film, so let's jump in.
Let's do it. Alright, so first bit of news here. Sharknado 3.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first bit of news. That's what I'm leading off with. Sharknado 3. It is the definition of so bad it's good.
Okay, so at this point, why are they still putting sharks in tornadoes? Like, don't they know that's going to end badly?
I don't know. I've never even seen them. Have you even seen them?
I haven't seen them either.
Yeah,
So we don't
I
even
haven't
know-
seen any of them.
We don't even know how the Sharknado originates, but it's there and it's coming out in July.
I'm just assuming people are putting sharks in tornadoes and then just
I
seeing
thought
what
it
happens.
was like a tornado going over the ocean and picking up the sharks and then dumping them.
I think you may be
That-
right, yeah.
That would probably be a bit better than what the truth is.
What is the truth?
I don't know.
No,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that is the truth. Apparently, there's a scene where like there's a shark swimming down like a hallway in an office building or something. It's like, come on.
Well, how is it swimming through? Alright.
Yeah.
That's why it's a straight to TV movie. Second bit of news here: anime fans will be excited.
Will they just?
Yeah, because Attack on Titan is now going to be a live action film.
Really?
Have you seen the TV series?
No, I haven't, but I've heard it's like pretty awesome.
I just started. It's
Yeah.
fucking good, man. It's really good.
Apparently, they're doing the same thing with Akira as well, which is
Yeah.
old school anime, but apparently it's been in production hell for like 10 fucking years or something ridiculous like that, but it's all coming together now.
It's all coming together.
Do you think this could be the next wave of, we've got superheroes, we've got like, these genres that just come out of nowhere. Do you
Anime
think this
films.
could be the
Crime
next
was
one?
very popular last year.
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's going to be like a Japanese movie, so I don't think it's going to be like a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
So I think it won't make it big.
Okay.
No, it won't be a big release.
Yeah. Are you guys fans of anime at all?
I'm starting to become it.
Yeah.
There's potential. I haven't seen a lot.
Yeah.
I hear people rave about it, but I don't really enjoy animated
Yeah.
stuff.
I watched Evangelion. Have you guys heard of that?
I've heard of it.
Oh my god! It will break your fucking brain. It is the strange. It's amazing and it's an accomplishment, but it is so strange.
The storyline or the visual?
The storyline, like literally, the creator got death threats at the
Whoa.
end of it because it ended in a way that people weren't happy with. So he made 2 follow-up films to wrap it
to
up.
rectify it.
There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of crazies out there. When I was in Japan with a friend, we
Yeah.
actually went to a museum where they had this big exhibition on
Yeah.
Evangelion. And there was like a velvet kind of rope around one of the actual ships that was
Really?
modelled on it.
No shit.
And we were at the end of our trip to the theme park. I think this was in Fuji-Q. We were right at the end of the trip, and we were like, if we get kicked out, it's not a big deal. So
Yeah.
I got my phone ready to snap photos, and he just jumped in, jumped over the rope and sat in the thing, and I just quickly snapped
No shit.
15. It was good.
On that, I actually went to. There was an exhibit of famous costumes at Acme in Melbourne about a year ago, and I went with one of my friends, and there was like the jacket from Fight Club, like the famous jacket. There was
whoa.
Superman's costume. There was Batman's gear. Think anything awesome, and it was there. Like it was amazing, and
Yeah.
you weren't allowed to take photos. I got a lot of
Oh, wow.
photos.
Is it because
Yeah.
it ages the...
Well, a lot of
Garment
them
when
are
you-
actually from private collections, so they were rented out. So
Under the condition that you can't take the photos.
exactly,
right?
exactly. But I went nuts. I was touching stuff and getting photos. I got told literally 3 times. Like we went and did a hot lap, got busted once taking a photo, played it off like, oh sorry, didn't mean to. And then we're like, all right, we've seen everything, we're happy, let's take a lot of photos, knowing that we were going to get kicked
Yeah.
out. And we did, but we got all of the photos.
Sick,
Brilliant.
man.
Yeah.
Good rule breaking.
That's it.
I did put this one on Twitter. Kevin
Yeah.
Smith has confirmed more Rats 2 and also Clerks 3,
Yeah.
which apparently promises to be a bit grittier than the other 2 films, which I like.
Really? Yeah. I'm I listen to like two of Kevin Smith's podcasts. I watch a TV show he's on. I'm
cool.
a huge fan. Like, I love the concept of a guy that sells his comic book collection to make a film and is now a filmmaker. You know, like he's living his dream. Like,
That's great.
I just think that's awesome. So I'll watch anything he makes. Like,
Yeah.
even though he's made some not so great films, but I'll watch him all. Love him.
You'll give him a chance.
Yeah.
Zoolander 2 had some hype built up. The
This is
this
great.
last couple of weeks, Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson appeared on a catwalk in Paris as their characters.
Yeah.
And I saw this one video of this guy who was filming it, and Ben Stiller's what's the
He was
character's
filming
name?
it like a selfie.
Derek Zoolander came up
Yeah.
and like snatched the camera and was like filming it down the
And
catwalk.
he just posed for like
Yeah.
did the same face from different angles for like 30 seconds. It was so good.
Oh man, that's great.
That's clever marketing.
Yeah. You know what? Pretty good chance it was staged, but I still loved it. I thought it was
Probably.
great.
Oh yeah.
Tron 3 has been confirmed, and
Really?
will have the same director that did Tron Legacy.
Okay.
Fun fact about original Tron:
Mm.
the Motion Picture Academy actually refused to nominate it for a special effects award because they thought that the movie makers cheated by using computers. This was,
No shit.
yeah, this was in 1982.
That's unbelievable. I'm sorry, I'm just astounded. I've got nothing to say. That's absolutely phenomenal.
Definition of special effects has
Yeah,
changed.
yeah.
Totally.
I mean, I love Tron. I think the second one is a bit, you know, I mean, I'm big on video games, so the general concept of being sucked into a video game, like, you know, that appeals to me, let's face it. But the second one was a bit crap. It kind of took a bit of a shit all over the first one. But we're in an age now where I think if people think a movie is going to make a certain amount of money, it doesn't matter if it's tainting an image of something or anything like that.
Yeah.
Fuck it, it gets greenlit, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a pretty good chance, not a good chance, almost guaranteed that film's going to make money. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, Tron 3, unless it's like Catwoman or really bad, it's not gonna.
Yeah, exactly. Which pisses me off, but it's the world we live in.
That's it. They did end up winning, I think, costume design and one other award, but yeah,
No shit.
not special effects. Daredevil, the failed movie,
Yeah.
is going to be a Netflix series.
Yeah.
13
yeah.
episodes coming out. Got Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Wilson Fisk. I think he's the evil guy.
Yeah.
Apparently said it's going to be like a 13-hour movie, which TV is these days.
Yeah, that's it. It's apparently going to be way more gritty and because the actual comic is badass, like in the sense, like I've read a couple of them just here and there, and it is really dark and gritty, and there's a lot to do with him as a lawyer as
Yeah.
well as you know, him fighting crime and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and
good.
it's going to be really dark, and it looks like they're actually taking in that direction.
Question: if you could only watch TV shows or movies, what would you choose?
TV shows all the way.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
easy. Yep.
What about you?
You know what? As much of a horrible question it is, like it's like saying, do you lose your vision or your hearing?
Yeah.
To me, that's as severe as it is, which is kind of tragic. But
That says a lot about you.
yeah, it really does. But I would probably agree. I'd probably go TV.
I would go movies.
Really?
I still would.
I respect that.
Because
Yeah.
I do, I mean, for me, it takes a little bit more energy to like watch a movie. You can just sit back and watch like 3 episodes, even though it takes longer
Yeah.
than
yeah.
sitting down and watching one movie, but I still enjoy them
I
more.
think my life would be a lot more productive if I could only watch movies.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Good question though.
Yeah.
And last bit of news, you know how they're going to do an all-female Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
You go, girl.
They're going to do an all-male one too.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
Yeah, and this comes off the back of the internet kicking up a stink. Well, certain people on the internet kicking up a stink about, you know, women being Ghostbusters and, you know, and not being true to the original and all this kind of stuff. A lot of people are claiming that it's a reaction to try to regain all those fans that were pissed off about the girl version.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, stand by your decision. And if you're going to make an all-male one, like, I don't know, just the timing seems a bit poor. Do you guys agree, or...?
Yeah, it seems to be sort of the power of the internet these days.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I think it's pretty accurate, though, the Ghostbusters all being men.
Yeah, so you feel women shouldn't be Ghostbusters?
Well, I'm just
They're
saying, like...
less capable, or...?
Alright, take the trade of plumbing, for example.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of women in that trade. There are some, of course.
Okay, yeah.
And, you know, thumbs up to you. But up to you, alright? But like if
Get a thumb up, yeah.
if it was a real
They're
trade,
trades, so you see a lot more like female nurses.
Yeah.
So you probably see a lot more male Ghostbusters.
yeah, and if you're a girl and if there's 4 girls
Yeah.
sucking up ghosts,
Who's going to be doing the laundry? Who's going to be answering the phones? Is that what you say?
This conversation sucks. Let's move on.
In video game news, I've just got a few quick little things I want to throw out there. I thought this was kind of funny. So, have you guys ever heard of a video game called State of Decay?
Yeah.
Have you really though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the open world zombie one.
Yeah. Well done. Fist bump.
Right on.
I've heard of it too.
Oh,
Fist bump.
Isn't that adorable? So apparently one of the guys that was doing all of the textures for the game, just to break down textures, like, a guy actually sits there and paints walls or takes photos of walls and, couches and TVs and all that kind of stuff, right? Obviously just listing everything I can see. One of the guys that was brought on board by the developers to do all the textures hid a bunch of dicks in all of the textures. So apparently they had to go there and sit through every tiny bit of work that this guy's done and rip it out.
No.
Someone on the internet apparently found it after looking through some of the original textures from like the beta or something like that. They just found dicks hidden in everything.
That's so good.
That is a true state of dickhead.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was brilliant. Love it. The last little thing I want to mention, I just thought this is kind of cool. I got nothing funny or interesting to say about it, but there's a video game coming out called Epsilon Circuit.
Make it funnier.
It's not really what I do, okay? So basically what this game's going to be is you only get one life ever. Now, not just per game, I mean ever. So it's an online game, 8 players. You get one shot. It's basically like you're in a big long line to play this game with the rest of the world. After you've played it once, you can never play it again.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And everyone else that's sort of waiting in line, they can sort of help, throw them potions, or they can make it harder by trolling them and making it, I don't know what they do to make it harder, but
Yeah.
So you've got one life and then that's it.
They just go and pull out the power from the
It's
computer.
game over. Cop it.
Yeah.
There was actually a game, I heard this on another podcast recently, and I thought this was such a cool concept. There was another game that it was coded in a way that it was a single player game, you only had one life, and once you died, the game basically imploded, and you could never play it again. I don't know how they made this work, but it was like a
Did the CIA
cartridge
make
that
that
would...
game?
Jesus Christ. But apparently only like 2 people or something have ever finished it, and it's like really dark and bleak and all that kind of stuff, but you die once, and it's like, that's it, never playing
Like
it
real
again.
life.
This episode we're talking about Focus, starring Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, yeah.
Written and directed by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa.
Okay. Apparently.
Pronounce that one. They also did film I Love You, Philip Morris.
With
I've
Jim
got-
Carrey.
I love that film.
I don't even know that film.
Alright, go watch that one. They also wrote Bad Santa. The film is about Nikki, played by Will Smith. Played by Will Smith, played by Will Smith, played by Will Smith. Is a career con man
Yeah, he's conning us into thinking he's an actor.
who he takes on a protege in the form of the hot Margot Robbie, who plays character Jess. If you think that sounds familiar, it's because it is.
Because it's every conman film ever.
The Gambler, American Hustle, it's got a bit of that in there too, but
Yeah.
without the charm. It's
Yeah.
less interesting, plot twists, it's boring.
You know what? I truly thought I was going to go into this film and it was going to be my new favourite film. Let me tell you the things that this should get right for me.
Yeah.
It's a con man film.
Yeah.
I love a good con man story. It's got Will Smith, who can act sometimes, at least in that kind of stylish kind of role. It's got Margot Robbie, who I absolutely adore. And, it's very sleek and cool and everything like that. This should have been my favourite movie ever.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
No. Why not?
I can tell you why.
Please,
Okay,
lay it
please.
on. Lay it on
Okay,
us.
so the key... I've got a whole page about all the things I really disliked about
Really?
this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to get them out. I wouldn't get sleep tonight if I didn't. So, okay, the key failings of this movie, the concept just wasn't strong enough. There just wasn't enough to base a movie on. The scenes just dragged on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Totally.
dialogue was woeful. It was
Yeah.
lazy. It was expository.
Yeah.
Getting back to what you said about the scenes being so long, there's that one scene where he's like gambling.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, why do you have to make this so fucking exaggerated?
Yeah.
That could have been so much shorter, succinct, and would have like caught my eye a lot more.
Agreed. Yeah.
Actually, there was a point to that one, which I realised. I mean, I hated watching it because I was like, fine, he's a gambler, we get it. But it's because we were experiencing it from her point of view and she was the blind mouse or whatever they said. So it was meant to be like, oh no, he's getting rid of all the money. But really, he's winning all the money.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's why they built that up for so long. But it still wasn't really effective.
Whenever I see kind of Will Smith on a movie poster, you always know what sort of character he's going to be. And this is one thing I wanted to mention. He's always cool. He's also always like way too awesome. He's fast talking. He's charming. He's like all these things.
Very one-dimensional.
You think about all the movies. I mean, well, a variety of the movies that he's done. There's a couple of exceptions. Yeah. But he's always just playing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No shit.
Which
he grew up and
ironically
became a conman, and next he's going to be a cowboy. He's already been a cowboy.
Which ironically, the name of the Fresh Prince is Will Smith. Like he's playing himself, and he's just done that his whole life.
Yeah, he really has.
Yeah, people are saying, he just can't draw the crowds anymore because there's nothing new being brought to the table.
Yeah. So I'm a massive conman film. To me, this was the poor man's version of, a couple of other films. But have you guys heard of a film called Confidence?
No.
That's what this should have been.
Yeah.
Confidence is an amazing film, and it all of the things that this got wrong, that does right. Yeah. I'll get to one of my biggest problems with it, but please finish your list.
Okay, so this is a condensed list, but I felt like there was no chemistry between Will Smith and Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel it. I mean, individually they're attractive people.
Yeah.
But there's a big age difference there, and I didn't buy that someone who's as stunning as her would be particularly interested in him, especially after such a short relationship.
Yeah.
It was over a few days.
And she's kind of infatuated with him in the
she's
film.
like head over heels for him, and he's kind of distant, and then he just abandons her in the car and says, and you did a good job, kid.
That performance was atrocious in that single scene as well. Yeah. That was atrocious.
Terrible. So I didn't buy, and the whole plot hinged on their connection. So that was the one thing that was supposed to keep you emotionally involved in the film, and it failed at the beginning. So for the rest of the movie, I was disinterested and bored and hoping for something interesting, which I didn't get.
Agreed.
Yeah, so the big reveal that Will Smith was a street kid taken in by that guy just fell flat because we didn't really care about
his
Will
white
Smith.
daddy.
Yeah,
we didn't
he's
care.
angry white daddy.
Yeah,
that was the whole failing of the movie for me was that I just never cared about him.
Yeah,
I just
he
never
wasn't
did.
a sympathetic character. So
I read this. I'm an avid screenwriter. Read this book called Save the Cat, and talks about one of the first scenes of any movie needs to be where the character reveals that he is human, that he's sympathetic.
Yeah,
for me. This guy wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything for him. So
just always just way too cool.
Didn't resonate at all.
So my biggest flaw with this film, and this all hinged on the final scene for me. This film could have saved itself for me, and I would have gone from giving it around a 4 or a 5, maybe a 5, to giving it like an 8 or a 9. Right, all on the last scene. So in every good conman film, they basically take all of these elements that have been thread through the whole film. Yeah. And the final reveal is this phenomenal, release of energy through the whole film. So think of Matchstick Men. You realise that, oh my God, that scene from back then now makes sense because he was working for all of that crap.
But you work it out, right?
Yeah.
This movie didn't let you work anything out.
And even above that, it didn't actually have a thread that went through the whole thing. It was basically 3 individual sort of stories that had a common thread, where I was hoping that it would play all the way back to the start, like them meeting and everything like that was the start of the con or something.
Yeah.
I thought that, I was hoping that it was going to be her conning him or something like that.
Yeah. I wanted her to be empowered, but she was so weak and she was just your typical love object.
Margot Robbie is clearly a talented actor, but my God, the writing let her down.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a talented actress or just beautiful.
Adorable.
She's just so nice to look at that it's distracting. And because there was there was just nothing interesting about her character.
I disagree a little bit in the sense. I mean, I think it hasn't really been proven that she's a great actress yet. I think she was really good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, I think she was great in that.
Yeah, and she was the epitome of the empowered woman, especially. Yeah, I won't get into the specifics, but
That one scene.
yeah, that one
Yeah.
scene. Yeah,
I
you know what I'm talking about. But I entirely just fell in love with her in this film, and I found her charming, adorable. You know, I walked out infatuated with her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different for a straight female and a straight male
Of
watching
course,
this movie.
of course, yeah. And I thought she was amazing, and I think furthermore, she's playing Harley Quinn, who's my favourite fictional character.
Oh, well,
ever.
of course you're going to like her.
And
there you go.
But you know what? I was for me, it very common that I would. The second I find out someone's going to play someone that I like a lot,
Yeah.
pretty good chance that I'm going to hate them because I'm going to be like, you're going to fuck this up.
Yeah.
After watching this, I think she's going to do a great job,
Okay.
and I'm really hopeful.
There's only one thing that saved it for me.
Yeah.
Actually, two things. One is that, spoiler alert, I'm going to reveal the ending, so just
Yep.
maybe skip forward a minute.
If you
don't.
care to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening at this point, you're
Personally,
probably not
don't
going to want to see it
recommend.
anyway. But right at the start, the kind of con that's being pulled on Will Smith is that he gets yanked into a room with Margot Robbie, who then tricks him, who it turns out is trying to trick him to get money, where the husband, the so to speak husband, comes in the room holding
Yeah.
a gun and goes, "Give me all your money because she's my wife. I'm going to
Yeah.
kill you otherwise." And the whole movie kind of was that repeated,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
in a certain sense. And
True.
that was like, it was almost there, but it wasn't, because it was,
Using
It wasn't-
seduction to con.
yeah, because I like these repeating themes, right? Especially when you have a clue right at the start, and then the whole overarching
Yeah.
plot is the
Like
same.
what I was saying, that
Yeah.
it all ties together. Yeah.
But that just wasn't there.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, I think it's the end that really let this down.
Agree. Yeah. Agreed.
As you were saying.
Another thing for me, sorry if I'm cutting you off,
No.
but another big one for me is the con man should be shown to be in control the whole way through. I suppose Matchstick Man kind of goes against that, but the fact that at the end, like there was a lot of bits where he was talking about how great at his craft he is, and schooling people, and he was the boss of all the other con men and all this kind of stuff. He should have been in control at the end.
Yeah.
And he had to get bailed out entirely. And he still
yeah.
walked away with a gunshot and no money.
Yeah.
Which...
What was with the dad at the end? Like, they're just casually talking and he's literally bleeding.
Yeah,
He's
it
literally
was a
bleeding from his
Deus
heart.
Ex Machina.
Yeah, dude.
Which, for those that don't know...
Deus Ex Machina.
yeah, basically just fucked up.
Funky Cold Medina.
Yes, Funky Cold Medina.
The one thing I do want to say, there was in the gambling scene, which, you know, was a bit stupid as well. The music was good.
I disagree.
That was the one positive thing that it had Iggy and the Stooges and it had the Stones in a very short period of time. I'm
Okay.
like, all right, I'm enjoying this music.
That scene, okay, I can understand. The
Yeah.
movie, in general, what are you doing? He
Yep.
was trying to do something and it didn't achieve it.
Yeah, I'd agree. So I was heavily disappointed in a movie that I thought would be in my, you know, just based on what it is, it should have been one of my favourite films of the year,
Yep.
and it just wasn't.
And for me, it was just the same old Will Smith garbage, just regurgitated again in a different form.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I think if a movie's gonna depend on a authentic, relatable love story
Yeah.
and it fails to establish that, then
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Agreed. Yeah.
Nice to put.
Go and watch Confidence. Go watch Matchstick Men.
Done.
And don't watch this.
Okay, well, here we are. Are you guys ready?
Apparently. Better be.
I
Ready?
guess so, yeah.
As you know, I am an avid screenwriter.
Have it.
Screenwriter?
15 pages. I've written it on the page. 15 pages of scripts. I've
Doodles don't count.
got a pitch for you guys. Now, you've heard some other ones, and admittedly, they weren't great.
Okay.
Look, there's been
I'd
a few
agree with
diamonds
that.
in the rough.
Actually, there was this,
Comparatively.
there was the one about the Navy guy that like wakes up and his whole crew's aged.
Yeah, I mulled on that one a little bit. I'm like, no.
There was
I've
shoes.
decided against it.
In retrospect,
Yeah,
not
in
so good.
retrospect.
There was
no.
the car's equivalent
Yep.
shoes.
I remember that.
But I've got one for you now, and this one is great.
Okay.
So,
Look forward to it.
you know how two black people can make an albino baby?
I didn't know that, but
Okay.
Well, they can.
Okay.
Two black people can make an alien baby.
Educational podcast.
My movie is about two white people creating a melanated baby, a little melanated one, and that baby is Will Smith.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
melanated.
I wrote one.
Oh god. Okay. So I don't even know where to start. So hold on. Is just the whole film like they have a kid and he's black and famous, or
Admittedly, I haven't.
what's the arc?
Is Will Smith playing Will Smith, or is he just?
He always
cast?
plays Will Smith. Let's face it.
He comes out of the womb and he's like wearing sunglasses.
It's like,
and
well,
there's like a
this
fade.
is a story all about.
About two white people having a melanated baby.
Oh god.
No,
not a fan.
admittedly, not great.
I
Not a lot of plot points.
feel like there's nothing going on there.
Yeah.
All right. I've got another one. This one's good though.
Okay.
A young girl moves to a small Texas town to record
I
an
think I've
album.
seen this film. Okay. Yeah.
To record an album with an old, burnt-out country music star.
Okay.
Now imagine.
Is that it or?
Now imagine the young girl is Will Smith.
And the old guy.
I don't know. Maybe Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh,
Okay. Yep.
so this is a
But
gender transition.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to think of new challenging roles for Will Smith where
Oh,
he doesn't have
I
to play
see.
himself.
We
I
need to
see.
get him out of his comfort zone.
Yeah. So make him play a young woman.
These are more
Yeah.
casting pitches than.
All right. I know I haven't included a lot of plot points, but this last one I've actually written out a plot for it. So
Wow.
you know
Yeah, because
how.
that's one thing I must say is missing from every film you've ever pitched.
Oh, I've
Is
got-
an actual story.
all right, this-
Yeah, it's always just like the seeds of an idea.
Yeah.
That's never going to grow.
It's a thing you think of on the toilet. You go, I got to write that down. He actually writes down every single one of them.
That's a thing you think of and think, oh, I better not write that down.
Yeah.
That's just embarrassing.
Well, you know how they've done B-movie and Cars. They've done.
And they're making Crocs. Yep.
They've
German
made.
vegan, apparently.
That's right. They've made a movie called Osmosis Jones about the white blood cell played by a black actor.
What? Hold on. Have they? Is this a
Yeah,
thing?
that's a real thing. Yeah,
Is it though?
yeah, it actually is.
Is
It's
it
got
though,
Chris,
really?
Chris Rock plays it. Yeah, look it up.
Okay. Yep.
Well, now comes sodas.
Sodas.
Yeah, like soft drinks.
Okay.
And I've written some plot points.
Okay.
So Cola is the name of the main character.
Yep.
He's feeling a little flat
Oh god.
as he's started to get older. But
Okay.
that is until he meets Bubblicious, a tangy
God.
little melon lemonade, and he decides that he wants to pour himself into a bottle.
That's
That
disgusting.
sounds very sexual and in a really sick kind of way.
It's a kid's movie. It's not sexual.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to make a melon coke.
You know what would have been good, right?
He
I'm
wants
picturing.
to make a little melanated baby.
Oh man!
So this is what I'm picturing. You've got Coke and you've got Coke and you've got Pepsi.
Yeah.
And they were best friends
Yeah.
when they were kids.
Yeah.
And then they grow up to become rivals, and it's about them trying to
That's not bad.
become friends again.
Will Smith could voice Cola.
Yeah, true.
Not bad.
Martin Lawrence as Pepsi. There
Done.
you go. Bad Boys 3. Oh, God.
So, any of those?
They're
I mean-
all horrible, but I mean, we live in a world where they're making a film called Pixels about Pac-Man coming to life. So you're going to be fine.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
Ah,
I'll write it out.
it's the time we live in.
It is. It is.
It's the beard's
Best
thing ever.
So, Rob, it's time. What's the best thing ever this week?
Yeah. So I went through a bit of a phase, bit of a thing. Hannibal season 3 is coming back.
Oh,
soon.
yes.
We're all excited about season
We
3.
are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went back and watched season 1 and 2.
Awesome.
So I want to preface this by saying I watched all of the. I've read all the books of Hannibal, including the really crappy one about his childhood and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was really skeptical because whenever you hear something that you love, they're going to make a TV show out of it. You're like, well, fuck,
Yeah.
my life's over. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I fucking love this show. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So a couple of things I want to talk about. Season 2 is obviously they've made a few wild departures from the books, but it still keeps it all of the same characters are there.
Yeah.
They keep it reasonably tight, which is good. So season 2 ends, as we know, with one of the biggest bloodbaths ever.
Yeah, it's raining blood.
Yeah, and it's not like, someone dies. It's like
Everyone dies.
Yeah, there's maybe 2 people that walk away from that. Like 2 people that you actually give a shit about.
Yeah.
It was just absolutely brutal. So what I'm really excited about, I read recently that they've got 2 seasons planned. The next one's going to be based on my favourite book. So Hannibal so far has been loosely based on the Red Dragon book.
Okay, yep.
And now we're getting into Hannibal, which is him on the run, which is without a doubt my favourite.
Right.
And season 4 is going to be leading into Clarice coming in, which I just think is fucking awesome. I'm super excited about this. So basically, they're taking all of these massive plot points and they're putting them into this show. So we're finally going to see, the full life of Hannibal in this universe, which just makes me so excited.
Man, I can't wait. This is where you clearly win a tick for selecting TV shows over movies. Like, that's just one of those examples that it is so good quality.
100%. There was a couple of scenes that I want to note. There was literally a scene, a shot that was done from a tear, from inside a tear with a tiny bit of blood in it. And it was shot from inside the tear looking out at what was happening.
Wow.
Fucking amazing. Seriously. Absolutely phenomenal.
How did they get a tear big enough for the lens?
I don't know.
How did they get a small lens enough?
You're mocking now. I didn't see it at first, but now I see it. But it's just absolutely awesome. Another thing I want to point out, the final episode of the season 2 had this ticking clock as they were leading up to the finale that just got faster and faster as it led up to that final showdown. And it just made me so... I'd seen it before, and the anticipation was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Makes your heart race.
It really does. Like, this show, same as what we were saying about House of Cards, this show is proof that television is on par with films as far as performances, cinematography. I mean, obviously, they've got to spread their budget over a full year or whatever, so, they can't have, like, these giant scenes.
But that's what makes it better in some ways, because they have to be more creative, and they're not just throwing money at effects and big sort of explosions and stuff. It's so much more interesting to watch,
it's just
a lot
phenomenal.
more thought goes into it.
It really, it's just such a good show. How do you guys feel about... They're taking a massive departure. One, it's going to be in a totally different country.
Yeah.
Most of the actors that we know are going to be there.
Faces.
I love this, man, because I think it's something that more TV shows should do. Walking Dead, they should have done that a season ago.
Yeah, agree.
Get rid of like 90-80% of the characters and just focus on one or two.
Refresh the characters, you refresh the story.
Yeah, you get to explore all these new ideas in the same reality, which is what I like about this.
One thing that terrifies me is... this show's coming back reasonably soon, but apparently the first 3 episodes we still won't know the fate of. Because a lot of people were left like, are they alive? Are they dead? The first 2 or 3 episodes we're not going to know the answer.
So you read too much about it. You read too much about it.
Yeah. I got excited. I went down an internet rabbit hole of all of this stuff. And I ended up reading about like where the director's kids go to school and all this kind of stuff. It's too much. Gone too far.
Dude. What? Where did they go to school, incident?
Robbie, you'd be a great stalker.
Yeah, I've been told that many a time. Usually while I'm picking through someone's window.
Hey, by the way, stranger in the window, you'd be a really good stalker.
You should do this full time.
Do you think someone as criminally brilliant as Hannibal exists?
Wouldn't be caught, eh?
Probably not. Because he's always, he's the epitome of the perfect criminal. Like, he's... phenomenally smart.
Intelligent. And he's got lots of skills.
Yeah.
He can fool people in a lot of different professions. He's credible.
There's one thing... Hard to say, dude. It's kind of a dark road that I don't want to think about.
Yeah.
There's one really cool thing that was in the book that I can't remember if it was in the movies or anything, but someone offended Clarice and he spent all night whispering to them, and then the guy just bit his own tongue off and killed himself.
Oh, cool.
I love the idea that he's so smart he can convince someone to do that. Fucking awesome. Anyway, so that's my favourite thing of the week.
You know what? It's probably the second best thing ever. We're up to the bit in the podcast where I like to play the IMDb rating game. Now, do you guys know how to play?
No, please.
No.
Fill us in.
Basically, what I do is I'll say the name of a movie.
Yeah.
It's a fictional movie,
Yep.
and you'll have to tell me what the IMDb rating would have to be at. How high it would have to be for you to actually see this movie.
Okay.
Sounds doable.
Yep.
Okay. First one is Move Over Frankenstein.
Because we've done it before. That was really bad. Cut that bit out.
Leave it in.
First movie is Move Over Frankenstein. It's a kids' movie.
Okay.
How much?
Hold on.
How high would it have to be?
Is it animated or live action?
It's live action, but Frankenstein is animated.
Oh.
Like Roger Rabbit, basically.
Yeah, it's
So
like
it's a
Space
lot of
Jam, Roger Rabbit.
kids like interacting with a green screen.
Potentially.
Mm.
Who's playing Frankenstein?
Unknown actor.
Oh, okay. I feel that's a smart move. Yeah. I wouldn't watch this. I'm just gonna blanket state would have to be less than 0 for me to watch it.
No, more than a certain number. That's the game.
Yeah.
You have to play.
Okay, it would have to be more than a 9-2.
That's good. That's in the top 50.
Yeah. That's you're doing pretty good.
A 9. I'd watch it at a 9.
Yeah.
I'll note that down. I'll tell the producers. Next movie.
This is actually him doing market research.
These are
This
my
whole
next week's
podcast
pitches.
is just a scam.
Honey, I Shrunk My Penis.
I would watch that at a pretty low rating because that sounds awesome. Yeah.
What's the
Is
rating?
Does
See,
it
I'm
have
picturing
Rick Moranis in it?
Yes.
he is the micro penis.
Great.
Attached to William Shatner's body.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Jesus
Will
Christ.
Smith. That'd be a bit of range.
Oh,
True.
man.
Him talking to his penis and looking really cool while he's doing it.
What
I
would it
can
have
see
to be
that.
at? What would it be
A
rated?
little witty repartee with his jump.
I would watch that at about a 6.
6, not bad.
6.5.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Movie called Pork Chop Hill.
That sounds cool. It's like about a high school shooting.
Okay.
It's
No shit.
actually I wrote it. It's a war film.
Damn, I was
Is it
so
though?
close.
It's a
Okay.
this particular one's a war film.
I like it because it could just be at, like, any location. It's
Yeah.
so ambiguous.
Pork Chop Hill. It's a
I
war film.
like it. If it is a war film, I'm in. I love a good war film.
What rating?
I see it as like a film like Pork Chop Hill where the great battle between Army X and Y was fought or something like that. I'd
Wow,
watch
that doesn't sound generic at all.
Yeah.
I would watch it at about a 7.5.
7.0.
8.3. Not a big war
8.3.
film fan.
I
Well,
feel like this game sort of
Revealing.
mutated into...
Pork Chop Hill is actually a movie.
Woo!
Really?
Yes,
Am I
it
going to
is.
have to watch it?
And you are going to have to watch it.
Oh no, what's it got?
It's starring Gregory Peck. It's a 1959
it's
film.
Oh, it's old.
Oh no.
7.2. You said 7 to 7.5. You have to do it now. 7.
I was going to actually say, because I'd gone 7 and 7.5, I was going to say 7.25, which would have had me saying...
Did I just dodge a pork chop there?
Yes.
Oh,
You dodged the
Right.
pork chop. I'll give you a quick plot summary. Gregory Peck is in Pork Chop Hill. Grim
Yep.
story of one of the major battles of the Korean War while negotiators are at work in Panmunjom trying
course.
to bring the conflict to a negotiated end. Something.
I'll report on it next week, apparently.
Yes!
I would like a comprehensive review next
The
week.
first trickery success.
Oh, you're a monster.
Oh no.
I feel this game's sort of morphed into us working out what the stories of these films would be.
Yeah.
And
I
I
like
kind of
that
like that
though.
game more than I
Yeah.
like the original game.
The other one's just giving numbers.
Imagine if you listen to a podcast with like they say it with like 3, and then you go 8. Moving
That
on.
is what it is.
Moving on. Alright, but actually moving on. Speaking of moving on, let's move on. Bad Boys 4.
Best segue ever.
But there's some stipulations to Bad Boys 4. Starring Channing Tatum and Zac Efron in blackface.
Whoa, now.
I would watch that no matter what the rating.
Yeah.
That sounds
If that's
amazing.
a train wreck, it's even better.
I watched the Channing Tatum film today, that White House Down one.
Yeah.
I felt dirty afterwards.
What number?
Why? Because you touched yourself?
He's a very handsome man, okay?
He is.
And can I just say, in that film, total side topic, in that film, the president wears fucking Air Jordans and then shoots a rocket launcher at someone. Like, it is
Sick.
so dumb. So dumb. But
Damn it, that's the
enjoyable.
life.
I need a number for Bad Boys 4.
Yeah, I'm watching that no matter what. I'll watch
0.
anything above a 0.
Jules?
4.
4, not bad. Last one here. Again, I've got a little bit of plot, so don't just jump on the title.
Okay.
The Truman Show 2.
Yeah, love it.
Jim Carrey's character tries to make a comeback after a couple of, after obviously
Walking out of the Matrix.
walking out of the set of Truman Show, he a couple of years later decides, you know what, I want to host a late night talk show.
Oh, God. Poor Truman.
It does star Jim Carrey, though.
Oh, okay. I'd probably go around 6, 7, 6'5". We'll go 6'5".
6'5"?
6'5".
Wait, is he hosting a talk show in that universe?
Yeah. It's a movie about him trying to launch this talk show.
So it's like his Birdman, basically.
It's basically his Birdman.
Oh, it's his Truman. Oh,
Truman.
that doesn't change.
I love what you were trying to do there, but yeah, it doesn't work.
It's his Truman.
True man, yeah, you've got to go the other way with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It bounces one way or the other. Let's say a 7.
7. You know what? I see your standards are a little bit higher than Robbie's.
Yeah, he watches more movies than I do. I'm a little more fussy.
I'm glad that's reflected there.
Plot twist. It's actually in the works.
No.
Yeah.
With that
I'm just
plot?
joking. I'm just
Oh,
joking.
Oh, so the plot
pulling
twist
your leg.
was that you were lying
The
about
plot
the
twist was the plot twist.
Can I
Not
just
bad.
say, The Truman Show is one of those films that it should be great, right? Looking back at it, I love the concept of a guy that's in a reality show. I love the concept of the film. I don't enjoy it when I'm watching it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That film makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you feel that we're all actors. Or...
It did make me think that for sure. Like,
yeah.
I feel self-conscious enough. I don't want to feel like I'm being watched.
Yeah, true.
if that was the case, like, I would be so embarrassed. Like, that would be my first emotion.
Imagine-
Oh my god, you've seen oh my god, you've
But
seen
if everyone's
everything.
being watched, who's doing the watching?
Well, hold on, no.
No, it's just one guy being watched.
Shut up.
Everyone's
have it.
watching everyone else. Hold on, that doesn't work either. Brilliant.
I missed yours. What'd you say?
Everyone's watching everyone else, but then everyone would know.
Welcome
that
to
everyone's-
real life.
I'm the only one. Everyone thinks that they're the only person that everyone isn't watching. So I can watch everyone, but I believe that no one can watch me.
So you're invisible.
Okay. And that just about brings this to a close. This
So
has
we need to explore this.
this has been Haircut and the Beard. My name is Haircut Vader, and I'd like to pass on my thanks to our special guest, the girl, for joining us.
Thank you, Haircut.
You're absolutely
She's
welcome.
becoming the Heather Locklear of this show.
Yes.
Special guest starring every single episode.
Every single
Just
week.
because she's greedy and wants more money, apparently.
Well, without the paycheck.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Who's paying her?
I'm getting paid. I don't know about you guys.
I need to reevaluate my contract.
And thank you very much to my co-host, Rob the Beard Brown.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having me. Quick shout out to the guy that gave me a haircut and beard cut the other day.
Yeah.
I gave him the info on the podcast. He said he's going to listen. So, hey, guy, can't remember your name, but you were awesome.
Dude, sweet haircut, man.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Average beard.
He barely touched the hair. It was all the beard. He did a great job. That's the sound of me stroking my beard for the record. Awesome. See you guys.
Catch you later.